Hi, I'm Samantha Bird. I'm a financial educator, and today we're going to talk about something that most couples have run into. Should we combine finances? Now, here's the thing there's really no one size fits all answer, and I know that's frustrating, but the important thing is that communication is key. What I like to recommend is for couples to sit down and talk through what their money situation is actually like. What is your money story? What did you believe about money growing up? What kind of debt do you have? What goals do you have for investing or for your long term future? How do you like to spend your money? Have these conversations early and before you decide to combine finances with your partner. It's really not about needing to have the same exact money story as your partner or view money the exact same way. It's about making sure you have clarity on your partner and an understanding of how you want to build your life together. So once you sit down and you have this conversation, then it's time to decide if you really do want to combine finances. There's pros and cons to each side of this. The pros of combining finances are clarity and transparency and honestly ease. It's a lot easier to pay bills out of one account than it is to pay out of two. It also makes long-term planning much more streamlined when everything is combined. Now, there are pros for keeping things separate. It allows more autonomy for spending or for personal expenses than if your finances were combined. It can also help reduce micromanaging or resentment. This can also be really helpful if one partner has significant debt or maybe complex financial issues. Just because you're getting married, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to combine finances if one partner has a lot of debt. At the end of the day, it's about communication, it's about partnership and finding a balance that works for you. Now, sometimes it can be helpful to do a little bit of a hybrid model, keeping one shared account for your expenses, your rent or mortgage, and then having personal accounts for any excess spending or fun money. This works really well to keep autonomy while also having certain goals that you work toward together. Now, there are some red flags to look out for if you do decide to combine finances. Make sure you take note if your partner is secretive around money, if they don't want to have any sort of transparency around money. It's really important to take a look at that and deal with that early on. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're hiding something or that they're lying. They might just have some shame or some guilt around money. So make sure you have these conversations early and often. The healthiest financial relationships are the ones where both partners feel seen, they feel heard, and they know that they're working toward common goals. It's not about always agreeing with each other. It's about finding compromise and finding a balance that works for your partnership. If one partner makes significantly more than the other, that can be a little bit tricky, but don't worry, there are tools that you can use that can help keep things balanced and supportive without needing everything to be cut and dry 50-50. So if one partner makes significantly more, it's not about putting pressure on that one partner or guilting the other one for not making nearly as much. It's about creating a balance and an understanding and building your life together. Both people in a partnership want to feel like they're contributing, but that doesn't always have to be financial. Household responsibilities are just as important as contributing financially. So just how you may not be splitting the bills right down the middle 50-50, you might not split household responsibilities down the middle either, and that's okay. It's just striking a balance that works for you. It doesn't have to fit a certain mold and it doesn't have to fit any sort of traditional standard. So my husband does a little bit more of the cooking, a little bit more of the household responsibilities, and I am so grateful for that because I tend to work long hours or I wake up really early and it's hard for me to balance some of these household responsibilities. So knowing that he's there to help cover me is so helpful. I value it so much, even more so than any sort of financial contribution. As time goes on, things may change and what feels supportive in one season might not feel super supportive in another. So what each of you is doing might change as the years go on, and that is okay. The important part is about finding something that feels supportive and aligned for you and for your partner.